It is giant Ape-Ril. And how about some European comics that feature giant apes? Because it's also Eurocomic Thursday, and every Thursday I talk about a European comic or graphic novel. So how about some giant apes in Hergé's Tintin? Hi, I'm Annie, and Giant Ape-Ril is a reading event that is hosted by Roy over at Roy Reads Anything, co-hosted by Duncan over at Back Away from the Donkey, and me. And it is all about the reading of giant ape fiction and non-fiction. Think of the most famous giant ape, King Kong, and the Bigfoot, but also the Yeti. But you can also read other giant monster books, like, for example, about Godzilla or a Godzilla novelization or such things. For this review, I read two Tintin comics. One is The Black Island, and I enjoyed that very, very much, and Tintin in Tibet, which I thought was entertaining, but not really that special. The Black Island was, I think, first published in 1946, and I found this a highly entertaining story. Tintin gets unwillingly involved in shady goings-on when a plane drops a sack full of money. The story is fast-paced, and Tintin has to overcome many obstacles to get to the bottom of it. And somewhere in the story there is a murderous ape. Giant murderous ape, I have to say. Tintin in Tibet is a much later Tintin story. I think it was first published in 1959. Somewhere in the snowy mountains in Tibet, a plane has crashed, killing all people, including Chang. And Chang is one of the best friends of Tintin, a good friend of Tintin. But Tintin disagrees and is convinced that Chang is still alive. The whole story is about just one thing: finding Chang. And this is not a bad thing in itself. But it could have been interesting. But the only thing that's supposed to hold back Tintin is everybody saying Chang is dead. For about 37 pages long, this is mostly the only thing which is holding Tintin back. And stubborn as Tintin is, he proceeds to find Chang. I know this is a story about the hardships of the voyage, like climbing a snowy mountain isn't easy. I understand it, and it has its problems, but I didn't find anything suspenseful in the scenes that Hergé writes, I must admit. But I can't deny that the drawings made by Hergé are just excellent. I find them excellent. This is an example of the excellent drawings. Hergé came up with the idea for Tintin in Tibet in 1955, as he read a book about the abominable snowman. Chang was featured in an earlier Tintin adventure, The Blue Lotus, and many readers asked for Chang's return. First, Hergé thought of a spy story, but later decided to use an entirely different storytelling technique, and that is this is a story where there are no villains. It is just about one man or a couple of men fighting the elements to find Chang. And this could have been a suspenseful story, but I found these hardships weren't very suspenseful depicted, I must admit. Hergé's fascination for unexplained phenomena like clairvoyance, telepathy, and premonitory dreams, and his fascination with Tibetan Buddhism have a place in this Tintin comic. And now I have to interrupt this broadcast as I have an important spoiler warning for you. Skip to the next timestamp or to 6:24 to avoid this spoiler if you don't want to get spoiled. End of message. There is a difference between the big ape in the Black Island and the abominable snowman or the Yeti in Tintin in Tibet, because in the Black Island the giant ape is trained to kill, but the Yeti in Tintin in Tibet is just a misunderstood creature. There is an article on the Tintin website titled "On the Trail of the Yeti," and this article states that Tintin in Tibet is a message to the many species that are disappearing. Let me quote. "These days we understand that life hangs in the balance and that the extinction of species can be avoided if each person works to find a way to weigh up their own desires against the needs of the world we live in." It's a really interesting article. I can highly recommend it. You read it. I will put a link to this article in the description box below. I find, like I said, this Tintin in Tibet could have been a real interesting story, but like I said, I didn't find it really that suspenseful. But you have to think this was the first story with this storytelling technique that Hergé tried out, so maybe he did a better job in future graphic comics. So I don't know. I did read all of the Tintin comics when I was a kid, but I must admit I can't remember much about them, but I have the whole collection. So what do you think? Have you read Tintin in Tibet? I'm curious what you make of all of this. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want me to keep you posted on future giant ape related videos. As always, thanks for watching.